As we celebrate our 50th anniversary, we are honored and privileged today to have with us as our chief guest a pathologist who has dedicated her life in advancing the field of pathology in our country. A dedicated teacher, researcher, clinician, and a mentor to a generation of pathologists. I would like to invite Professor Priyani Amaratunga, President of the College of Pathologists of Sri Lanka for the year 2025, to introduce the chief guest for the evening. Professor Neelakanthi Ratnatunga, Emeritus Professor, University of Peradeniya.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege and honor to introduce the chief guest of the Presidential Induction and the 50th Anniversary Celebration of the College of Pathologists of Sri Lanka, Professor Neelakanthi Ratnatunga, Professor Emeritus, University of Peradeniya. Professor Ratnatunga graduated with honors and ranked first in her MBBS batch in 1978 and obtained a PhD from the University of Peradeniya in 1986, Diploma in Pathology from University of Colombo 1984, MD in Pathology from the University of Colombo in 1991, and board certified as a consultant histopathologist in 1992. Her academic excellence is further underscored by her honorary fellowships from the Royal College of Physicians of Edinburgh, the College of Pathologists of Sri Lanka, and the Sri Lanka College of Surgeons. Her academic journey at the University of Peradeniya is marked by consistent advancements from lecturer in 1980, Professor of Pathology from 2000 to 2019, to Senior Professor of Pathology from 2007 to 2019. She served as Head of the Department of Pathology from 1993 to 2011, demonstrating her strong leadership. Currently, she holds the distinguished position of Professor Emeritus, University of Peradeniya. Professor Ratnatunga is a recipient of Commonwealth Medical Fellowship and Senior Commonwealth Fellowship, which enabled her to pursue specialized training in immunohistochemistry techniques related to renal disease at St. Thomas's Hospital, London in 1998 to 1999, and histochemistry and immunohistochemistry relating to muscle disease at Hammersmith Hospital, London in 2007 to 2009 respectively. She has taught undergraduate and postgraduate students for the past 38 years. Her commitment to education is evident in her role as a visiting lecturer at the Faculty of Dental Sciences, University of Peradeniya, and as a trainer for Diploma and MD Pathology and Histopathology of the Postgraduate Institute of Medicine. Professor Ratnatunga's scholarly achievements are reflected in her H index of 27 and her numerous awards including President's Research Bonus, National Science Foundation of Sri Lanka Award, NRC Merit Award, and President's Award for Scientific Research. Her research contributions are substantial, with groundbreaking work on diaphorelia repens, IgA nephropathy, and breast carcinoma hormone receptor profiles in Sri Lankans. Her supervision of MPhil and PhD students has significantly advanced our understanding of chronic kidney disease of unknown etiology. She has served as Editor-in-Chief for Journal of Diagnostic Pathology and served in the editorial boards for Ceylon Journal of Science and Sri Lanka Journal of Medicine. Professor Ratnatunga's contributions extend beyond academia. She served as the director of the laboratory at the Teaching Hospital Peradeniya. During her tenure, she pioneered the introduction of immunohistochemistry, renal histopathology and immunofluorescence, and muscle histochemistry and immunohistochemistry laboratories at the University of Peradeniya. These facilities, the first of kind in Sri Lanka, has benefited many hospitals and transplant and dialysis units across the country. Her dedication to patient care is exemplified by her continuous reporting of renal biopsies for numerous hospitals. On a personal note, I also have learned my ABC of renal pathology from Professor Ratnatunga, finally which became my most interesting field. Her influence in professional bodies is equally profound. and has served as the President of the College of Pathologists of Sri Lanka in 2001, the Kennedy Society of Medicine in 2015, and the Peradeniya Medical School Alumni Association in 2011 to 12. Professor Emeritus Neelakanthi Ratnatunga's extraordinary career, marked by pioneering contributions to pathology, unwavering dedication to patient care, and a profound commitment to education, has left an indelible mark on Sri Lanka's medical landscape. We are deeply honored to have her as our chief guest today. Please join me in extending a warm welcome as I invite Professor Neelakanthi Ratnatunga to the podium.
The President and Council of the College of Pathologists of Sri Lanka, members of the head table, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen. To be invited as the chief guest at this historic event of the college is indeed a singular honor. I am actually overwhelmed by this gesture, and I thank the Council for this invitation. Thank you ever so much for the gracious and warm welcome afforded to me this evening. As always, it was good meeting many colleagues and friends, bringing back nostalgic memories of yesteryear. Priyani, firstly, congratulations to you on your election as President of the College in a challenging year. I'm sure your steadfast, able guidance will enable you and your committee to achieve the aspirations outlined in your inspiring address. I am deeply touched by the elegance of your citation read out for me. Thank you very much indeed. I extend my congratulations to all those who have conferred the honorary fellowship of the college, an honor which you all richly deserve. The theme for this golden anniversary is commemorating the past, excelling in the present, and aspiring for the future. Priyani and Priyanka, what a beautiful theme this is. I congratulate you all for thinking of these words, or should I say sentiments. Simple, yet eloquent, expressive, and so inclusive. Professor Chandu De Silva, I am sure, will narrate the remarkable journey of this college in his own unique style, paying tribute to all those individuals who initiated and made this college. I look forward to listening to you, Chandu, on the final diagnosis of 50-year odyssey. These past pioneers were not just clever pathologists. They all had this exceptional attribute which endeared us to them, a common thread. And for me, it was their genuine interest in the welfare of the younger pathologists that stood out. I remember the late Professor Alf Panabokke, who, as he said in his own words, would rack his brains the whole night, trying to think of an answer to a problem, be it administrative, academic, or personal. The late Dr. S.D. Athakorale, microbiologist, a former secretary to the Board of Study in Pathology at the PGI many years ago, a man with a dry sense of humor, I must say, had all the details about all the trainees in all specialties at his fingertips. You see, he had this file which had a half sheet for each trainee with all the relevant information written on it. Dr. Rani Pereira, I think she is the most senior pathologist now, was the very first coordinator of the PAT training program of the PGIM. I remember myself being one of those first trainees, how very interested she was in our welfare and keeping a watchful eye on us. We wish her well. I'm so happy to see in the audience Professor Ella Ramanasekara. Sir, you are an inspiration, an example to us all by your presence and participation in all events of the college. Personally, like many others here, I remember with gratitude your strong, unobtrusive support to us, younger members of the Board of Study, when we had to take on responsibilities of being chief examiners, etc. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I cannot forget the remarkable past directors of the PGIM who were very supportive of our college activities. They sort of, did not mind when we used the beautiful old wood panel boardroom in the PGIM for our monthly college meetings, which usually followed the Board of Study meeting. So naturally, refreshments were automatically looked after. As spoken by our president, I am amazed at the great strides made by the college in many aspects due to the remarkable efforts of the past presidents and all the pathologists and training pathologists who supported them. I was privileged to participate in the college sessions virtually in the recent past and was struck by the efficiency and professionalism of our members. Congratulations, Priyanka, and your team for this organization, and also a tremendously successful year during your tenure as president. The practice of medicine in Sri Lanka is now very specialized. With highly trained clinical specialists being available countrywide, the demands on the pathologists have increased, as the president told us. Comprehensive reports are expected and is the norm. Immunohistochemistry, molecular testing, flow cytometry are now routine. Turnaround time for reports is the fashionable jargon, the Western standards. Our pathologists have kept up with modern trends, giving a service on par with international standards to our patients and support to our clinical colleagues. Now, this level of pathology is expected from those young people working in peripheral hospitals also. All this is in the background scenario of the Sri Lankan social ethos of family and social commitments. In keeping with the theme aspiring for the future, I will briefly express my thoughts on the future of our laboratory services, a safe and happy place for young pathologists. With the increase in the brain drain of trained pathologists, those awaiting the overseas training are assigned as acting consultants to peripheral hospitals. Some have to even cover several hospitals, traveling long distances. They may have to clear backlogs. They depend on the bigger centers for all the sophisticated tests for their reports. Yes, facilities in national hospitals and specialized hospitals are available to them, but understandably there are delays. Senior colleagues to get advice or second opinion are far away. This is a worrisome situation. Pressure on them to issue quick reports can be quite demanding and sometimes unsafe. There is also now a demand for specialized opinions in areas we are not trained to deal with, where even we as senior pathologists do not have the training or expertise. There is no room for learning curves here. These facts are deterrents to those having to return back to Sri Lanka after overseas training, because they know they will be faced with the same scenarios when appointed as consultants in the peripheries. We are in competition with the world in attracting our pathologists to return to Sri Lanka to serve in our labs. Clearly, we have to develop a novel marketing strategy to attract them. A radical change in the present system is demanded. Can we offer them a place of work where there will be little traveling to and fro to faraway hospitals, where the family can be together, where the children will be afforded a good education in a good school, where working from home is permitted, even working from abroad is permitted, where they can develop special interests, where private practice is also enabled? Yes, I think all this is eminently possible. Can we have them working in a centralized regional laboratory hub with all facilities? Yes, we can. Can university laboratories be harnessed to these hubs? I think so. Telepathology, digital pathology, artificial intelligence in laboratory practice, this is possible. Many years ago, an eminent lady entrepreneur who had a very successful finance company was explaining to me how she ran her company and about her clients. She ended by saying, "They are happy, we are happy." This, I think, may be the answer to address the problems envisaged in our laboratories in the future. The administrators at the highest level should be enlightened, and I think the college could play the lead role in this regard. We have a very competent president this year, and I'm sure she and her team will be able to advise the relevant authorities on these issues. Priyani, I thank you once again for inviting me as the chief guest today. I wish you and your team a successful tenure, and I pledge my support to the college in whatever way I can. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. I would now like to invite Professor Priyani Amaratunga to present a token of appreciation to the chief guest for the evening, Professor Neelakanthi Ratnatunga.